to make the Watergate salad, and these include the crushed pineapple. This is a 1 pound, it's a 20-ounce can, and I have more whipped cream than I need, whipped topping. So I only need 8 ounces, so this is 16 ounces, so I only need about half that. I need 1 box of jell-o pistachio pudding mix, and I need some chopped pecans and miniature marshmallows. Okay, so let's get started mixing, and I'm going to bring my bowl closer so that you can see what I'm doing. Now, the first step is to mix the 20-ounce can of pineapple with the pudding mix, marshmallows, and pecans. So there goes my pineapple. And here is the pudding mix. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm gonna put it down here. Yeah, make sure that, you know, I'm recording myself today using a tiny tripod on my kitchen counter, which is not usually the way that I record these videos, but I'm trying this out to see how it works. Okay, so here I have my pudding mix, jell-o, guys, can you see that? Pistachio. This is 3.4 ounces, okay. Oh, you know what? I totally forgot my spoon. All right, let's pour that in there, and I'm going to grab a spoon really quick. Get one out of the dishwasher. Perfect. Okay. All right. And the next thing to do is to add, let's see, marshmallows and pecans. So I need 1 cup of miniature marshmallows and a half cup of pecans. Okay. So I know that I have just enough marshmallows. Well, a little more than what I need, but I have enough. This bag has already been opened. Okay, come on out, marshmallows. Come on, get in there. Okay, so now I have 1 cup, and I need half cup of pecans. So this is 1 cup here, but you know, I can eyeball it. Half cup. Here we go. It's about half cup. And we are going to mix this goop. I'm sure it tastes delicious, but it does kind of look like goop right now. We're going to mix it up very thoroughly. Sorry about that. Just make sure that there's no powder remaining, that it's all thoroughly mixed. All right. I wonder, how did this become such a much-loved favorite? I don't know. This is going to be my first time trying the Watergate salad. You know, I wonder how they came up with the name. That's kind of a question that nobody can really answer. I wonder if they served this at the Watergate Hotel around the same time the Watergate scandal was going on. I don't know. Good question. I looked this up on the internet, by the way, and nobody really has an answer to that question. Okay, so we need to add the whipped topping. Let's see. Okay, so we're supposed to add the whipped topping. And how in the world do I know? You know, I'm going to have to eyeball this, because like I told you, I have a full, twice as much as what I need. So I didn't get any pudding on my cup, so it's okay to stick it back in there. Oh, wow. How in the world did somebody come up with this? You know, this sounded good to me. That's why I wanted to make it. And also, it's a pretty infamous dish, kind of like the scandal. Well, much like the scandal. You know, I remember hearing my parents and other relatives mention this. It's not really a salad in the true sense of the word. It's more of a dessert. But a long time ago, you know, they did use gelatin to make salads. Maybe that's why they started calling it salads. You know, I would hear my relatives and my family members talk about this dessert, and people would make it, and they would bring it to, like, you know, like family events, you know, like potluck dinners, cookouts, that kind of thing, you know, wherever we had like a large gathering of family members, and they would serve things like this, especially during the warmer months. And I never wanted to try it when I was a kid because I thought it sounded really yucky. But now it sounds really good. So this is what it's going to look like. And we are supposed to chill this for, let me see here, for about 4 hours. And then we're going to see how it comes out 4 hours from now. So that was pretty simple. And folks, I just thought of something. You know, I realized that my dessert is not going to look that pretty. You know, it's fine if I'm just serving it to my family members or guests or whoever, but, you know, since I'm making a video, I figure I need to do something that's more attractive. So there's different ways of serving this up. Oh, this needs to be mixed a little bit more. There's different ways of, sometimes that happens. All right, that's okay. There's different ways of serving this dish. Like, you can put it in nice, you know, glass bowls that you can see through, and then garnish it later with like whipped cream, you know, using the kind in an aerosol can. You know, I've seen some pictures where people garnish it like with cherry on top, that kind of thing. Well, I don't have cherries and I don't have glass bowls. So I've also seen it where it's put into like a rectangular pan like this. And of course you're going to let it chill, so it's going to get firm. And then you can kind of cut it into, you know, square pieces and serve it that way. So I figure that's probably the best thing for me to do here. My camera's not that focused on what I'm doing. Okay. So just spread this around evenly. I'm going to clean it up here where it's kind of gotten on the sides. It's kind of awkward the way that I'm doing this. I'm having to reach over my camera as I'm spreading this around throughout the pan, but you get the idea. You can. This is what I do, like whenever I make jell-o with cream cheese. That's another example of a vintage way of making jell-o, vintage salads, which is actually a much loved recipe, and you can use different kinds of jell-o for that. You can use orange, lime, lemon, strawberry, raspberry. That tastes really, really, really good with the cream cheese. So I've seen it, you know, made like that, where you put it in like a rectangular pan or square pan, depending on how much you make. I guess usually rectangular pan is probably better. And spread it around, let it chill, and then you cut it into squares. So that's what I'm going to do here. All right. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm going to clean up the edges there, but you get the idea. All right, let's make this dessert look more attractive. Here we have our whipped topping. This is the aerosol kind. Tried to make a pretty swirl. Okay, and let me get a cherry. And then let's put this right in the center. You know, the whipped cream is a little bit slippery. Okay. Just get that out of the way. And there we go. The lighting is not so good here. Not good there either. Well, I hope you get the idea. Okay, I'm back with the final result. This is how it looks. It definitely needs to chill for a few hours, and you know, it just tastes better after the flavors have time to blend together. That's what I've heard about a lot of things, you know, when you're cooking and baking, like especially when it comes to like cakes and things. They just taste better after they've you know, just kind of sat for a few hours. The flavors have time to blend. Of course, that's not the case with everything you make, but with some things I believe it is true. So I added some whipped cream and a maraschino cherry on the top, just for garnish. You know, I'm not really crazy about cherries, but you know, it just looks pretty. So, and it gives it a little something extra. Okay, I know a lot of you are familiar with this dessert, but some of you are not. And as I've already said in another video, you know, I love vintage things. I like vintage Avon. I just love vintage things, period. And I also love vintage desserts, and I have a lot of vintage cookbooks and recipes that I want to try out and share.